Hey everyone, it's Cece from one.greenpea. Today I'm here for a Peperomia Propagation update. About a month ago, I did a video on Peperomia care and propagation. And now at that time, I had some plants that were in serious need of some trimming back. And as you can see, they have rebounded and could be propagated again. I'll put a link to that original video in my notes and right here so you can go and see that. But I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on how the baby plants are coming along. Now, I took 3 stem clippings and I put them in water. And I'll give you a close-up. We've got great root action. So I am super happy with how they have progressed. Now at that time I also did some leaf cuttings and I started the leaf cuttings right in soil. So you can see they are growing in here as well, and if I give them a little tug, they are definitely rooted in. Now I'm really curious about what the roots look like, so we're gonna take one out and see. This guy's attached to some orchid bark. So there are some wee little baby roots for sure. Not nearly as extensive, obviously, as the stem cuttings, but I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. And I'm guessing that all the rest are the same. So I'm going to tuck him back here. And for the time being, I think this looks like a pretty little way for them to continue growing. So I'm going to leave them be. Now the stem cuttings I am going to put into pots. I am going to do an experiment here though. I'm going to put one of these guys in Leca just because I'm really curious about that substrate and I want to see how it will go. So I'm going to try one of those in Leca, but these other 2 I'm going to pot up in these pots. I will use my standard soil mix, which you may know is just a regular organic potting soil into which I mix a bit of perlite and some orchid bark just to keep it nice and loose. Now this one is 2 stem cuttings, but I'm going to put them in here together. So when I put them in, I want to be sure, of course, that the stems are in the soil. So I'm going to arrange these guys, kind of make a soil bed, arrange these guys in here how I want them to be. Of course, the plant's going to determine how it wants to grow. These guys are kind of fun and they sort of move about as they wish. And sometimes they get even a little droopy, not a matter. So I will fill this up with my soil, kind of giving it a little bit of a shake, a little bit of tamping down as I go. You don't want any holes around the roots. And then remember, when you're transitioning from water to soil, these roots are used to being constantly wet. So I want to keep the soil moister than I will generally keep it when these plants have adapted. So I will keep an eye on these plants. So continue filling. I leave a little bit of space at the top just so that when I water, the soil doesn't pour out all over the place. Okay, so this one looks nice. We're good here. I'll do the same thing on this other one. Okay, simple as that. I've got my three stem cuttings potted up, and I think they're gonna do really well in soil. Peperomia are super adaptable and really easy plants to grow. So I will put them in the same spot that the parent plants are in. So I already know that they like that amount of light. I'm gonna keep them a little bit extra wet. And yeah, I think that they will do fine. Okay, for this last stem cutting, I'm going to do an experiment with Leca. Now, Leca are these little inorganic clay balls, and they act as a soil-less substrate. So you're able to grow plants without soil, and these guys absorb water and allow the roots that grow inside to take up the water as they need from the water reservoir. It's pretty interesting and it's kind of fun. So I've been taking some cuttings and starting them in Leca just to see how it goes. And so far, nobody has died. So what I have here are rinsed off, pre-rinsed Leca balls. I've put some of them in my little net pot, and I'm going to take the cutting and I'm just going to nestle the roots into the Leca, the clay balls, and then I will fill the rest of the net pot with the clay balls, and that gives it stability as well. And then I take the net pot and place it inside of a ceramic pot without holes, of course. I want to fill about a third of the way up the net pot in this pot with water. So then I set this in. The Leca balls absorb that water and then provide it for the plant's roots as it needs it. Now, one of the benefits of planting in Leca is that you don't have to water very often. In fact, every couple of weeks, 2, 3, even 4 weeks is all you need to do. Something that you have to be aware of is because these are inorganic, they don't provide any nutrients to the plant. So you need to provide those nutrients on your own. And that's something I'm experimenting with as well, doing a bit of fertilizer in the water when I change the water out every 3 to 4 weeks. So we have a variety of experiments here, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching my Peperomia propagation update. I hope you enjoyed this information. If you found it at all useful or entertaining, please give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I would love to have you subscribe so you can be a part of my plant family. Until next time, my plant friends, keep growing.